All right, you continue. When we finish, Janet is coming. She's also coming to also deliver.
She's not coming here. She won't come here.
Simple. She's coming right now. So
she will not come here. The police are wasting time.
No, you see, when we
intimidation, we are all about people. Nobody can intimidate single person there. We are all human beings. We are Ghanaians, fully Ghanaians. You can't come to intimidate a leadership here. What sort of life is that? Are you bigger than all of them sitting there?
It's not
What sort of disrespect is that?
How can I keep quiet?
So from CPP to PNC, what you saw there was confusing at a press conference being addressed by leadership of the People's National Convention earlier today. Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the party, Bala Mekankan, disrupted its demanding reasons for the suspension of the party's General Secretary. It took the intervention of the police to restore calm. The Greater Accra Chairman of the party was escorted out by the police, following which all doors were locked for the briefing to continue. Present at the press conference were the 2020 presidential candidate David Apasera, the national chairman Moses Daniba, and other party executives. Well, on Zoom for more is embattled General Secretary Janet Nabla, who the party says has been suspended. Janet, good to have you. Why were you suspended from the party, first of all? Janet, kindly unmute for me. Hello, Janet. There seems to be a problem with her connection. We'll get...
Hello, can you hear me?
Great. Loud and clear, Janet.
Okay. So let me greet you this afternoon. Let me greet you and your viewers. It's a great pain when I hear people say that, oh, you are suspended, you are suspended. That was what the message they wanted to send out there. And I think it's like they have achieved their aim. I was not suspended. They've not suspended me. I'm still the General Secretary of PNC. The constitution of PNC, we have a constitution, and that constitution is supposed to govern anybody who is a member of the People's National Convention. And you know, when you're a leader, you are supposed to uphold the constitution of the institution you are working very high. That cannot be said about Mr. Daniba and Mr. Apasara, who happen to be leader, this in 2020 flag bearer and chairman of our party, respectively. The two of them, I don't know where to even start. You know, we had this, our 29th anniversary celebration. That was on the 27th of July. And we were trying to source for funds for the party. In doing so, by God's grace, we got 150,000 Ghana cedis, and we kept it in our bank account. So I asked Mr. Daniba and Mr. Apasara that when are we going to sit on a round table to look at the regions that we are going to distribute the monies to. I said we have 16 regions. We can pay 2 years for each region, and then they will still be left with some money so that we can look at the constituencies and see how best we can be able to pay for them too. They looked at each other and said, where is the money to pay for 2 years? And I said, the 150,000 we just got. They did not say anything. They said, let's put it in the party accounts first. And I said, okay. So Mr. Apasara was the one who took the money and went and kept it in the party accounts. So I was thinking the following day we will sit down and think of the distribution. The following day when I called the two of them, they didn't pick. So the third day, I went to the bank, and the bank, I saw that Mr. David Apasara and Moses Daniba, they went and picked 25,000 Ghana cedis from the money. So I called them and I asked, what have you picked the money for? They never answered me. Then 2 days later, on the 19th of on the 19th of August, they went back and picked 43,000. That was when I heard that they used the 25,000 Ghana cedis to bribe disciplinary committee members to favor Honorable Apasara.
All right. So, Janet Nabla, hang on there for me, because thankfully we have the national chairman, who is Moses Danibam, who has joined the conversation. I'm grateful for your time, Mr. Danibam. How do you respond to Janet's allegations?
Listen to all of the things she said. I just joined in a while ago. So I don't know exactly what she's trying to talk to you about.
Okay, so let me start from what happened today. Then we can talk about the allegations that Janet is making. What led to the confusion at the press conference?
Well, at the press conference, everything started off very well, peacefully, until our regional chairman from the Greater Accra region came into the hall and started interjecting and telling the gentleman who was presenting the story that he's lying. And in the hall, there were so many people, both PNC people and outsiders. And the PNC people started telling, hey, my friend, you cannot do that because it's a press conference. We are presenting a case, a story. So you have to listen. And if you want to ask questions, at the end of the day, you can ask the questions. But he was still resisting. Luckily, we had arranged for police protection. So the police had to take him out of the hall in order to allow escort to continue.
Now, the Greater Accra chairman, Balame Kankan, was demanding explanation of why the Janet was suspended from the party. Do you have an explanation to that?
Yes, we have an explanation. Janet, since 2020, when we were elected on the 30th of September, has committed a whole lot of offenses as far as the constitution of the party is concerned. The entire national executive in Accra could not tolerate all the things Janet has been doing.
Offenses such as
I can't list them one by one, but they are on the paper which we have presented this morning.
Okay.
The communication director presented the whole thing. So, based on those offenses, the National Executive Committee wrote to the disciplinary committee of the party. The party has disciplinary procedures when somebody breaches the party's constitution. The disciplinary committee is the one enjoined to go into it, look at the merits or demerits of it. So the National Executive in Accra submitted these 10-point offenses to the disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee started its work on the 14th of August and completed on the 20th. They invited Janet to come before them to answer to questions that had been put before the disciplinary committee. Janet simply told them she was not coming there. She didn't think the disciplinary committee is competent enough to go into such issues. Meanwhile, on the 27th of February this year, we had a National Executive Committee meeting at which all the various committees of the party was put before the NEC. And the NEC accepted the names that had been put in there. Even Janet herself proposed one of the persons who is on the disciplinary committee. So for me, we were taken aback when she turned around and started accusing some of the disciplinary committee members as people who were against her, who don't like her. And we said this is not a matter of being liked or not being liked. They are the disciplinary committee of the party until maybe by the next Congress we can change them. But now they are the ones that will advocate on all issues bordering on the party.
But she also accuses you of spending monies that belongs to the party, and that you're treating her the way you're doing because she went loud on it.
As for if somebody is in trouble and wants to free he or herself, we'll also counter issues. We are supposed to do a job with that money. In fact, it's not Janet who requested for this money. It was the leader of the party who submitted the request to a donor who even did not give us the whole amount that we requested. It was only part of it. So we were even told that we should use the money judiciously so that we do not run into problems.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we were not limited to paying only party rent, as Janet has been talking all over the place. The people who gave us the money told us we should be careful how to use the money. That's all. And it's the leader, the chairman, the treasurer, and herself who should sign for these monies. Ask her how many times she has been coming to the party office since January this year. You can count only 1 or 2 times from January to today.
Okay, so is she suspended or she's still at post?
She's suspended as far as the disciplinary committee and the next committee has been concluded.
All right, let me bring in Janet. Janet, you heard him. He's been explaining what those monies were used for, and he says you did not cooperate with the disciplinary committee, hence where you find yourself right now.
I'm not finding myself anywhere. I'm not suspended. Okay, so now let me go through the things that he said. He told you that the money that we took was for other things. I beg to differ that this is not true. He knows within himself before heaven and earth that the person who gave us the money said these monies are meant for party offices. If you don't use it for party offices, next time you are looking for money, don't ever come to me. And he knows that he can't go back to the person to ask for money anymore. They know. That is one thing, let it go. He said the disciplinary committee started its work on the 14th. It's a lie. I was given a letter to appear before the disciplinary committee on the 13th. Yet the disciplinary committee was inaugurated on the 17th, just to tell you how they were doing witch hunting in order to get me. With all what he has said, that I have not been going to party office, ask him that ever since he and the leader were voted to power till now, what contribution have they done to raise the party, the name of the party high, apart from going around looking for money to spend? I am the one. Every television station knows me. Every news station knows me because I am fighting for the party, not for monetary purposes. I fight for the party to make sure that the PNC, the legacy of Liman, will be held high. And then the party that is built on service with honesty will continue to be upheld. But let me tell you something. You know, one thing our chairman and leader, you should know about them is that they don't know anything about the Constitution. If there is one thing they don't know, is the Constitution. Do you know that in the letter they gave to me, they quoted that in Article 57, Clause 7, I'm not performing my duties as a General Secretary well. Meanwhile, Article 57, Clause 7 is meant for the Communication Director, not me. He told you that the disciplinary committee, I refuse to appear before them. He says he's a Christian. The God we serve wants us to tell the truth. And this lie he's saying is just politics. But when you continue to do things that are not of interest to God, he will make sure that he will punish you.
Let me bring you in. Let me bring you.
I'm coming.
Okay, wrap it up for me.
Because the disciplinary committee gave me a letter I responded to the letter by telling them that Martin Anafu is Honorable Apasade's brother. The one I'm fighting with, that's the brother. Then we have Komstongo. I fought with him as a general secretary and he lost. Then you went and picked another person called Alaji Omar as your discipline. Look, the constitution says that we must sit as a body to choose these people. But then Honorable Apasada and Honorable Daniba, they sat in a room and picked these people. I was not part of the picking. So because of that, I walked out of the next meeting as a result of the things that they did.
Mr. Daniba, this certainly doesn't look good for the party's image. I mean, how do you intend to mend the cracks in the party to face 2024?
Yes, I think Janet has forgotten that the party works with structures. It's not a private company that one person becomes the managing director and therefore he takes all the decisions for the party, for the company. We are a political party, and in political party, you set up various individuals on various committees as members, and they then meet to carry on the day-to-day activities of the party. Janet knows very well that she is the general secretary, I am the chairman, David Apasara is the leader. And by our constitution, the leader, the chairman, and even our 3 vice chairmen are online before Janet. Janet is the 6th online. So as a political party, she should listen and work with all the members of the various committees. It's not a one-man business. She's not the only one supposed to be talking for PNC. That is why PNC has a communication director.
How do you intend to cross this bridge?
You say?
How do you intend to cross this bridge?
Well, if she gives us some peace, we can cross this bridge.
When you talk of peace, what are you talking about?
Sorry, your questions, I'm not following them well.
I'm saying, what kind of peace are you looking for from Janet Nabla?
I'm sure you have seen the attitude of Janet. She's always shouting at the least thing, even in the office. Outside the office, you have seen the way she reacts to him. She doesn't work to other members of the party. She sees herself as an overlord of a village. So the overlord says one thing and nobody else can say anything. But the party is not like that. We have structures. Various individuals have to work together in order to achieve what our objectives are. So if Janet will learn to work with each and every one of us, we'll be able to cross the bridge.
Janet, are you willing to work together so you can come back as one full force?
When he talks like this, it pains me to the core. Do you know that on the 24th of August, I saw the leader at Afrikiku, and I went in to ask him, have I done something to you that makes you hate me? He was just quiet. I said, if I've done something, forgive me. Let's make sure that we push PNC forward. Because I don't know what I've done to you.
So you have made attempts to make amends, right?
Immediately I finished talking, he called the chairman to suspend me. Listen, I want to say something. He said PNC is not a private business. It's true. I want you to tell him and the chairman that PNC is not a private business. He said that they have suspended me. According to the constitution of PNC, it is the National Executive Committee that has power to suspend me, and they did not do that.
So as far as you are concerned, you are still in power. Are you still at post? You think you are still at post?
I want Then the National Executive Committee members, they wrote a letter to the general public and gave he and the leader 1 week ultimatum to vacate from our party offices and lock them because of the lie they created that I have been suspended. Meanwhile, they never suspended me.
This is something that we'll be watching because the PNC need to put their house in order. Janet Nabla is a general secretary and battle general secretary of the PNC, and you also had the Moses Daniba, who is national chairman of the party.